Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Behind the Helmet, where you show you the people behind the truck, behind the helmet. Nate does all the driving, and I just learned that it's not Ferenc and Nate Vegh. It is Vegh.
Vegh.
Like Vegh. Like, this story is Vegh.
Exactly.
Clear. Okay, well, this story is so my friends the Bausmas, everybody calls them the Boosmas, but it's actually Bausma, and he actually said to me one day, Mike goes, House Ama. So I'm like, House Ama. So I got that figured out now. And then Doug Meisinger, the scrappy tractor, I call him Messinger forever.
We all have Central European heritage, obviously.
I'm excited to do this interview because you guys, as far as I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ferenc, the only Power Stroke 3.6 in the nation, probably the world, from a pull-in truck. Because everybody runs a Cummins, right? And is it Cummins or Cummins? Cummins? Nate, what do you got there?
Go with Cummins.
Cummins?
Yeah.
I think there's one, Tommy has one on the East Coast, but he's kind of a regional.
Who's Tommy?
Hassler.
Tommy Hassler.
Good friend of ours, good dude, has a little shop there in Maryland, Pennsylvania area, and he stays on the...
What's it called, Nate?
Twisted Addiction.
Twisted, is it a 3.6?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. He runs Runway to Bruck too.
Okay, so that's the Full Pull Productions.
Those guys.
Where they mix the Alkies with the diesels?
Yep,
okay,
yep.
That's always fun to video.
Oh, great guys. We go try to see them every now and then.
Chargers on the truck right now.
Yeah, we borrow his... Long story.
Well, we got time. We're recording it, so it's all good. But like I said, with the purpose of this interview, we're doing one a week, and Pulling does a good job of really displaying the vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
And just jumping Jack Flash, and that's Nathan Vegh. But that's about it. You know what I mean? Until we really get a chance, to do an interview. And then, when you guys win something, it's great, but you get a nice 30-second or 60-second interview, and it's more, and again, I'm not ripping on it, because we don't have time on it, but we're trying to take it to that next level with our Beer Money Pulling Team social media platforms, and really show, you guys are great friends of mine. I've known you forever. You were so beneficial in helping us with the Pullers Championship, Ferenc.
Love doing it.
With the sponsorship, and just thank you. Can't thank you enough for all of that. And we're working on getting our date set for that next year. Kind of Strickland said they're going to move Benson to maybe June 2nd, June 3rd. That would allow us to move a week later.
That we're on.
Yeah, so we're excited.
We're on.
We're excited. We had a meeting the other night just to kind of get going on that. So, but that's fine. Let's not talk about that. Nate, first pulling memory.
First pulling memory?
It doesn't have to be with Dad, because I grew up with my dad doing this, so I'm screwed forever, right? I've been going since I was this tall. How did it all start for you, Nate?
I'd say when I was not really an infant, but an early child, maybe 3 to 5, somewhere in that age range. My dad, our buddy Will, who built this truck.
Will Hardesty.
Okay. Yep. Built a 2.8 truck.
The old DHRA days.
So are you 20 now, 19 or 20?
22.
Jeez. Holy cow, you've grown up so fast. I feel like it was just yesterday when you were born, Nate.
Yeah, me too. But my earliest probably pull memories would be them in the basement of because my dad lived in a subdivision at the time, and they built the truck in the basement of that house.
Literally.
Yeah. So that was a story. That was always a fun thing. Working on that, and I just remember Will being at our house all the time, and my uncle was there sometimes, and going to pulls back then. I wouldn't say there's one specific memory, but definitely that kind of like time.
Yeah, that 2.8 class, I kind of remember there was like a 2.5, a 2.8, and then like a run what you brought.
Yeah.
I felt like those were kind of back in the day. Because I started announcing pulling, I really got busy announcing like 05, 06, 07, 08, kind of the early 2000s. I announced 40 or 50 pulls a year, and hell, the diesel truck guys were driving them to the pulls. But the crowd went nuts.
Yeah. We have a video on our Facebook page of Nate was about, 4 or 5 at the Farm Machinery Show. We were down at the finish line in the front row, and remember how they always...
you got interviewed.
They showed the kids always?
Yeah.
Well, Nate's waving at the camera, and they played on the Jumbotron. Well, when we went to the farm show the one year with this truck, they put that video back up, and one of our buddies, the Roberts, videoed it, so
awesome. That
took us from 5 to this.
Yeah. What you two have is what I have with my dad.
Oh yeah.
Genuine, like, when my dad calls, it's never how are the kids, how's work, it's how's the tractor. You know what I mean? And it's nothing but that's our bond.
Oh yeah.
My parents got divorced when I was in middle school. Mom moved us to Wisconsin. How else do you get a kid to leave girlfriends? And I did have girlfriends, and I'm not as good looking as you, but I did have girlfriends. But how do you get them to come back every weekend to Iowa, 3 hours away? Yep. And it was my dad's D21. So I mean that's that bond that we have, and that's a bond that you two have.
Oh
It's awesome. It's awesome.
This is all about that.
Yeah. So we're sitting in Windsor, Colorado.
Yeah.
You guys are from Shelbyville, Kentucky. How far are you from home?
1,200 and something miles.
It's 11 186 miles.
1,186
And
miles.
last year I know you blew like 17 tires getting here and back, right?
Literally.
Wood,
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to jinx it or anything. So.
We went through a whole tire revolution, evolution. We got brand new ones on here.
Okay.
So, knock on wood.
But honestly, it was a good, easy trip getting up.
Oh, it's awesome. He flies, I drive the hauler.
Suitcase
Big.
He goes, I have a test. I have a test at school. I can't drive with you. I'm like,
oh, man.
It works.
Nate, work as long as you can. Eventually he'll say, all right, kid, you get a job and pay for your own stuff. So,
Yeah.
and then you'll be like, okay. So, no, that's great. So, speaking of school, are we almost done?
Almost done, yeah.
Didn't you intern somewhere cool this summer?
Yeah, I'm a senior at UK. I got 2 more semesters left.
What's like, does it go Wildcats or how do you make your W?
We don't have
you guys,
we don't need a stupid sign.
you just know it's just, is it Kentucky?
SEC.
Is it Wildcats? What do we say?
Yep, Kentucky. Wrapping up my time there.
We're talking about going to the Florida-Kentucky game in Gainesville next Saturday. We were just talking about
How far is Gainesville from Shelbyville? Or no, your Lexington's where the school is, right?
10 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might just make a road trip.
I would.
Yeah, but
I would.
Go Cats.
yeah.
Let's do it.
So almost done there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna have a degree in?
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, so what can you do with that?
A lot of things I'd like to think.
What do you like? What are you kind of leaning towards?
I'd like to do something along the lines of automotive performance one day.
Okay.
Or, I like working with CAD online. Pretty good at that. Design
Turn my phone
stuff.
off. Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good.
He's really good with the CAD systems, like how they load up the stuff for the CNC machines and stuff.
Check that message from Darnell.
That's the thing about ME, I guess, is it's so broad. You can really do a lot with it.
Yeah. If you need a hookup at Ford Motor Company, I have a high school classmate that's an engineer there.
Okay.
And I can get you, seriously, or at least talk to her about it. She's she's way up there now in R&D and all that stuff.
Wow.
So
That's a big time.
she designs stuff on things. I don't know, she's really smart. So.
We're 20, 35 minutes from the Ford truck plant.
KTP, half my customers work at the Kentucky truck plant where they build all the Super Duties.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Including the plant manager. That's why we do
Ford.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. I get it. Ferenc, for you. So let's talk about Will a little bit. I mean, I don't know Will as well as I know you guys, but I just see his name a lot working on your truck. What does Will do? Does Will run a performance shop, or is he a friend? Or
Will was, when I taught high school, before I got in the insurance business, I was a high school band director. Will
that's
was
right, because you played in the Marine band.
Yeah, during the Reagan administration.
Okay.
So the whole Jumpin' Jack Flash, the music thing, come from that.
You're taking away all my questions now, Ferenc.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm teasing. But the good thing is you and I can talk for days.
Oh, yeah. So Will was in the FFA department next to the band room.
Okay.
And anytime the band kids tore up something, I'd take it down to him and he'd weld it or fix it. He was a student.
Okay.
So after we got out, he got hired by the school bus garage to be a mechanic there. And him and I, that 2.8 truck, hooked up to build that truck. Then Nate
was that a Ford as well?
Yeah, F-350. And then when Nate turned 16, decided to want to build a new truck, we tied back into Will, who was at that time, had he switched to the school? He was still with the bus garage.
Okay.
And then now he's running the vocational school program, teaching kids to do this stuff. Now, Will recently has taken a little bit of sabbatical, like we all do when the kids get to that ball playing age and cheerleading practice and all that. So he's taken a little sabbatical last year from this because Noah's what? Freshman, 8th grade?
Yeah, almost going.
And then Evie's 5th grade. So they're doing soccer practice and cheerleading practice, so he's being a dad right now.
That's good.
So we're just kind of winging it on that stuff.
Now, do you have a shop at home on the farm, or like where's all the truck done? Like, I see the Facebook. Hey, we went and picked up the motor for Hypermax, but where are you bringing stuff home and putting it?
Yeah, we have a garage at where we live on the farm, but I got a crazy transmission pole going up to where the grain complex is. I can't get around with the hauler.
Okay.
So we actually keep everything at a buddy's farm in his shop about 8 minutes away, 10.
It's not far at all.
It's our senator, so that's not a bad thing either.
Lindsey Graham.
No.
Well, like that, but anyway, he's a great guy,
That's
and
awesome.
he's totally into it. Loves Nate. He had all daughters, so Nate's like his other son, or his only son.
Does he have daughters your age, Nate?
No, they're all
Oh,
over.
shoot. I was going to say, we can work that together,
Yeah. So we actually keep the hauler, the semi, outside the shop, and this has, we call it our corner in his great big shop, just because we can't get it in our driveway. It's just crazy. So he's a great guy, and we use all his stuff, and he's awesome.
That's awesome. That is great to hear.
So all those videos you see in the shop are actually down the road in a neighbor's house.
Perfect. I've always kind of wanted to know that to see, because like my stuff all lives an hour south of me. At Tony's house.
There you go.
Nate. So Nate turned 16. Was the 2.8 truck still running with Will?
No. I did what Will's doing now. I got out for a while. And then
Chasing Nathan around?
Chasing Nathan around, soccer practice, this, that, high school. When he was junior in high school, we started 16.
I met you guys in Macville, Wisconsin. And I gave you 2 beer money stickers, and you had them on the front weight box for a while.
A long time.
Yeah, that would have been, oh man, 2016 maybe, 2015?
We just finished it,
Yeah, he's somewhere in there.
Yeah, and so he came to me and we started talking, hey, let's build a pro stock truck. Okay. So we called Will, said so we started fabricating. We started out with a frame. We didn't buy a truck and tear it apart. We literally got from the Kentucky truck plant a frame from 16.
Okay.
And that was a long story, but anyway.
Hey, is it a good story though?
I don't know if it's what I can tell publicly.
Okay, that's fine. Then no, it's not.
So
when you have to say,
when you have to qualify it,
and next.
Yeah. So
I mean, Mackenzie can edit it out, but we better not.
So anyway, we started with a frame built up from that. We didn't take a truck and tear it apart. We literally just built them all. And
so from the day you got the frame until your first hook, how long was it?
Oh, probably 2.5 years.
Oh my God.
2.5.
The anxiety.
Oh, because everything. With a Ford, there's nothing you can go buy off the shelf from Scheid or Hazy's or whoever, and so everything has to be custom fabricated or made. You have to have somebody make this or that and the other. And from our old 2.8 days, we had a relationship with Patty and Van. So 90% of the stuff in the truck, other than the driver's module and the motor, is from Patty and Van. It's a Hazley truck. The motor's all Hypermax because we dealt with them from the 2.8 days, and the driver's modules from Randy and them Performance Pros. And they just had a component thing we liked. I told them what I wanted, and we looked for it, and they had it, so we just.
That's awesome.
So
first truck was where, and who drove it?
He drive. I've never sat in the truck.
So it was a 3.6 out of the gate.
Out of the gate. I've never sat in the truck with the motor running. This is his baby.
Love it. It went to a few events, but it didn't really get down the track.
Rudy's in North Carolina was the first.
That was Rudy's Truck Show or Rudy's Jam, I think.
Spring Jam
in Julian, North Carolina.
2018.
And he couldn't get it. We couldn't get it to light. I didn't realize it. I put the big. Kurt Hazley calls it the hero gear. I put the
hero gear.
Put the 2000 gear in it, and thinking, okay, but it was backwards. I should have put the lowest gear in it just to get him to light and go down the track. So we took it home, literally tied it to a tractor and a bulldozer and a tree, got him to light it, and then went to Watson's work plant up in Michigan. And came in 4th or 5th.
I rained that one day.
So you guys immediately with the Ford power plant, and then one of the only very few ones. You know, you hear, well, that's a Fummins or whatever. You know what I mean? Which is fine, but you guys stuck. You said stick to the hand that feeds you. Like we saw with the popularity, Nate, of the Polaris Championship, you were by far the biggest vote getter. We can say this out loud now, and it's because of the uniqueness of the truck. And and that I mean,
it gets us in a lot of doors.
It does.
It really. It is what it is.
Like, and I'm not so big. Like, I'm a big tractor guy, and I don't care what motor's in a pro stock or a diesel super stock. But some people do, and I respect that, and I get that. But like NASCAR, your Chevy or your Dodge or your Ford. So to bring that passion in, I mean, your guys' fan following's legit because of the Ford thing. I mean, it's neat.
It's probably
it's neat. I mean, that's why it's huge.
As much as everybody, I'm not knocking anything else, but it's as big as what everybody else is combined. Just because 50% of the crowd never had no representation at the events, so they either came or sat there like this.
And all of a sudden, when you guys fire up, that sounds different.
Yeah. So we when we first hooked up with Hypermax, we did the 7.3 P pump, knowing that 3.6 kind of starts.
Did Hypermax ever say you're crazy?
No. They were all on board from day one. He had never driven a pulling tractor before, so we knew that platform, that 7.3 platform, was just because of the 3.6 starving that bigger cubic inch motor for a little bit of air. It was a little bit lower on horsepower, so we went into that knowing he's a novice rookie.
Okay. So it wasn't like we're going to come out and we're going to kick everybody's butt.
Let him learn the system, how to get on the track, how to back up to the sled, how to do this, how to do that. Get it down the track, and then it became a little bit successful. And then my original goal was I wanted to hang multis on it and run Superstock. We built a truck to run Superstock.
Okay.
He, after getting with all these guys, started becoming good buddies with Brady and Brad and Matt, Keith, and Rod Tarr, and all those hooligans.
Yep.
And just became good friends. Now kind of likes the Pro Stock class and wants to stick with it. So we had to figure out power-wise, because we were down a couple hundred horsepower, 150, 200 horsepower with that platform, how we can be competitive. So Hypermax then, after we were on the track a couple years, decided to invest in this 6.7 program. So they came to us last year before last actually.
So 6.7 is the latest and greatest from Ford, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smaller cubes, matches that 3.6 turbo, what the air can shove. And they came to us and said, we want you to field test a motor for us for a season. Well, it was supposed to be last year, but it took us the whole year to get the stupid thing in, and then COVID and all that crazy business. So actually, this was the first year we got it in for a whole season. What did we make, like 2 hooks with it last year? Shelbyville and Shide, I think.
No.
And it was a cluster.
We went to like 5 events last year.
Yeah.
But it wasn't very fun.
No.
Yeah. From a polling perspective.
Yeah. And so this year was the first year we actually got it out the whole season and working the bugs and the gremlins out, and we're getting there.
So like Hyper's looking at data.
And we get the scenese involved and those guys.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a common rail.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So it's everything we thought we were doing is now totally been turned upside down. What we learned with the P-Pump program is now flip-flopped, and we're having to, put the training wheels back on and learn new stuff again.
Nate, when did you get that confidence? Like, I can drive this truck. Like, do you remember? Like, was there an aha moment, or?
Probably that first after my first pass at Brooklyn, Michigan. I was like, I know I can do this now.
Okay. Because you need that confidence, like to
hump getting
drive
over from not doing it and then doing it one time is pretty big. Once you do it once, you're like, okay.
If you watch that video from Brooklyn, he's doing down the track, different places, literally 90-degree turns. And we went through this whole thing. I was like, oh my God, you're going to wreck the whole front end. And we did this thing, being a 16-year-old, don't turn into McDonald's, just change lanes. We're not turning into 90 into McDonald's, just change lanes. Because he was doing this in the cab. I was like, oh my God, you can't do but we're getting, it really came really quick, didn't it?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a cool story. So when I first started driving my Dredge tractor, just so you understand too, I did the whole left-right brake thing. If you want to go right, you press the right brake. If you want to go left, I had it backwards. I had a couple. And this is before roll cages, and my dad actually came to me and says, I'm not going to a tractor pull to go to a funeral. You're starting on a farm stock. And I built the 10-mile-an-hour farm stock tractor back in the 90s. So that's how it got started. So, but it happens fast.
It does.
It happens fast.
Yeah, you're very fast.
Ferenc, I love your energy and your passion for the sport of pulling. It's just so good to have. And that's why I want to do videos like this, because there's a lot of people that don't know you like I know you, and they're going to know you now. But that's what makes it fun. What's one thing that nobody knows about you that won't put you in jail, Ferenc?
About me personally?
About you.
Oh gosh.
Like some hobbies and.
Oh yeah. So when I was a kid, when I was younger than he is now, Mom wanted a musician, Dad wanted an engineer. So Mom won on me, and the old man won on the son, the grandson.
And your mom and dad are still around.
Oh yeah, Daddy's 87, Grandma's 82.
Just a few years.
Your mom just was in the hospital, right?
Yeah, first time she ever been sick in her life. I mean, I'm talking about ever even had a cold.
Wow. And
we took it for granted because she's always
Mom's
that rock.
Yep.
And she got a little sick. She had an intestinal infection. She was in a hospital a month. So it really kind of rocked our world. But she's all better now, back in her routine again.
Good.
So,
Good.
But yeah, so the whole music thing was, everybody thinks, being a gearhead, but that was just from having an association growing up on the farm and being interested in rural life stuff, more so than an occupation or a career.
Right.
I was a musician, so I went to, I studied conducting at Yale. with a guy out of the Berlin Philharmonic named Gunther Herbig, and played in Chicago, New York, all them daggone places for all those years.
What instrument did you play?
I'm a brass player, actually a tuba player, and then I got into conducting. So.
Do you have any pictures on your conductor outfit?
Yeah, I got on my desk, standing in.
I need some of those.
Yeah.
I need some of those.
So I did all that, and that was the whole music, side of the business. So, yeah, so that's I guess not too many of these guys.
And then when did we transfer into the insurance?
When he was born, the music business is kind of crazy in that you're always traveling.
Yep.
And you either have $1,000 in your pocket, or you're wondering how you're going to eat the next day, the next week. So when he was born, I got to thinking there needs to be something a little bit more stable in the career sense, to put food on the table and do that. And my neighbor was the recruiter for all the Farm Bureau agents, and he bugged me for years. Why don't you come? Everybody in the county. Why don't you come? I don't want to be in no insurance business. And then one day he just caught me in the right mood. I said, where do I sign up? Yeah. And so I got out of the music business, agriculture, insurance. Been doing that same age as him, 22 years now. And
nice. Got a
nice business, great team I work with, and they're running the show while we're doing this sometimes,
No, you're still in a band, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Marine Band, we have an alumni group, and we get together like we're doing Mardi Gras this year. Jason Schultz might have to come right and flow with
Beer
us.
Money Pulling Team.
Thank you, baby.
Beer Money Pulling Team Mardi Gras.
Thank you. That'll work.
Nate's going off, Dad.
Oh, that'll work.
The bead champion.
The bead champion. Mackenzie went to Bowling Green.
There you go.
She experienced Bowling Green.
I did.
How many beads did you get, Kenzie?
A lot.
You don't it.
So we get together a couple times a year. It's called Bands of America Feud. We got our stickers on there and everywhere. But it's a veterans group from the Marine Band.
Okay.
And we'll play. So yeah, and I play in a group of mainly of some retired folks out of the Louisville Orchestra. We play on Thursday nights, Wednesday and Thursday nights, sometimes in Louisville, and do a concert here. So I still play sometimes. I don't practice. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I show up and do the gigs,
I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. Nate, what's one thing that people don't know about you? Like, what do you do when you're not pulling?
What I do when I'm not pulling?
I've been calling you guys Vegh forever.
Well, everybody does. They think Timothy Vegh.
Yeah.
The guy who blew up.
Oklahoma City Islamer? He's not like a cousin or anything?
No, this is Hungarian. It's
so say like Vegh. Like
Vegh, like V-A-G-U-E.
But Vegh.
Vegh. With a V, yeah. Yeah.
No, I was thinking Vegh. Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I don't know.
It's all right. It's okay. Everybody butchers. I have one of those alphabet names. Everybody butchers it.
What's the worst you've ever been called? Vegh?
Oh,
Maybe call you Vegh?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. That's another off-camera moments.
Nate, like hobbies, what do you do besides pulling? You obviously been working out the last couple of years because you're just a skinny little rail. Now you got muscles. So
a little bit. I'd say one thing. I have hobby like to play basketball and that kind of stuff at school with my buddies. But I guess one thing maybe not everybody knows about me is when I was in high school before we got into this, we won 3 state championships in cross country. So that's a pretty big deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that.
Was the runner-up his freshman year by a broken big toe? They lost by 1 point. Their lead runner broke his big toe and couldn't run, and so they would have had 4 in a row.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably one thing a lot of people around here don't know.
How far, and then for a cross-country course, how many miles is that?
3.1 miles.
So for all of you watching, who can run 3.1 miles right now? Not this guy.
I don't miss it.
You don't miss it?
Not at the speed they were running.
They're zooming.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Nate, best, or it doesn't have to be your best pull, but like maybe your best feeling at a pull, or your best finish, or something that like finally got the monkey off my back, or like what's that story look like for you as a driver?
Probably either like last year at Diesels and Dark Corners in Georgia, we'd been fighting this thing all summer, and it finally laid down the pass we thought it had in it. That, and then earlier this summer at Hopkinton, we finally came out on top for some good trucks.
Good deal.
Had a good win.
Yeah, so finally got that. Still searching for that first PPL one, but it'll come. And I'd say in terms of the feeling, we've been lucky enough to be at the farm show twice and just being a part of that. And when you roll down the ramp at Freedom Hall, it's like
there's no other.
I've got to do it once.
People
It's
say
amazing.
People say Bowling Green and all that, but being from Kentucky and I graduated high school in Broadbent, like nothing will ever beat that, you know.
Do your friends, like at school, do they know you're like, I mean, a famous truck puller, if you will?
There's a few like that I'm closer with that kind of know what I do, and people see it on social media and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say a good majority.
Have you ever had a professor say anything in class?
No.
That'd be cool. Like sitting there if you start to fall asleep. Would you take a truck pull last year like big? Something like that. That'd be kind of neat.
Not too bad. Usually, they don't really tell them when to dip in the gear.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Worst pull ever. You're like, damn it, this sucks. I'm done. That, you know, I know it only lasts. I've had it. It only lasts a couple minutes. But
there's probably a few you can choose from that.
We went to the one where the battery died going. Water solenoid stuck open.
Yeah, 2019 Hoops, Illinois. The batteries on the truck died about a mile from the pits because it rained. It was a mess, and I was like,
they were like, let's just leave it.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. No, I had that.
It was pretty bad.
No, that's crazy. No, because Doug and I have dealt with it this year.
I was just going to ask that. Have you guys ever had a screaming match with each other?
Oh, we're out in the parking lots throwing hammers at each other.
More often.
I'm actually physically scared of Doug, so I yell from like 30 feet away because if he catches me, he's going to thump me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and he's getting to that point where now I'm like, I don't know, he can take me.
No, but the passion, and you want it so bad,
Oh,
you go so hard.
We're both type A's in that regard.
Yeah.
And when you're experiencing, and this is, I have to really give Nate a lot of kudos. All these guys are super competitive, type A personalities. Everybody wants to win. But not only are we doing that, we're doing a field test, an experimental motor for somebody for a whole season.
I didn't know that. I'm glad to get that out.
And so all the stupid stuff they're seeing breaking on the track, the fuel rails, blowing plugs and all that, it's all experimental. So we don't know what's going on from week to week. Is it going to work? Is it going to light? Is it going to do this? So the fact he handles all that, in addition to the kids walk by, oh, he's driving a Ford,
yep.
You know, all that stuff, but they don't realize that we're doing something for somebody else too, for Hypermax in that regard, so that we can be competitive down the road.
Yeah.
That was all planned.
Well, this is a journey, and I didn't know that. I mean,
yeah, everybody thinks.
Because I want to see you do well every time, because I genuinely like you guys. I mean, you're fun, and I love the Ford thing. And when you go 100 feet or bounces or whatever, I'm like, dang it, you know. And it's like, what's going on with that thing? But that makes sense now. It's good to know that. I didn't even know that.
So the 7.3, after we started this program, you saw it. We were going to put multis on it. We got it on the track at Georgia, and it dropped the valve. And then we got the 6.7. So we overhauled it. It's sitting on a pallet in the shop.
So that 7.3, would that be like a good motor for like a 3.0 truck?
Or go the other way.
Bigger.
Those bigger cubic inches don't work with these smaller
so
trucks.
It needs to be a super stock.
It needs to be a multi-truck.
To push all that air.
Like double overtime.
Yeah, Ben Miller.
Ben Miller's old truck, remember?
Yeah.
Down triples on the thing. It's just a bigger cubic inch, so this 3.6 or a 3.0 starves it for air, so you're going to be under where everybody else is. Just so this 6.7 seems to match that what the air can be pushed from a 3.6. It matches it better.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's more efficient.
Yeah. So are you a gigantic Rolling Stone fans? Kenzie, you want to zoom in on the famous Rolling Stone lips there?
You got the poster behind her right there.
You got the poster behind her. Got the Charlie Watts, the recent deceased drummer for the Stones, always had this hanging on his drum set. When he wasn't playing, he'd hang a clothes sign up there, and when they take the stage, he'd flip it over. When Keith started the opening riff of Jumpin' Jack Flash or whatever, he would flip the sign over, then start playing the drums. So I do that.
Do that when you go pulling?
Oh yeah. So when we're in here, when we're working on the truck, or we put it on open, but like right now we're not working on the truck. We're in here BSing, so we're closed. But that's in homage to Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones.
I like that.
I tease everybody all the time. I say, I can't, when they ask about picking names for vehicles, I say, I can't help it. The Rolling Stones wrote a song about our truck.
I can't help it.
I can't help it.
It just happened to be. It's a good thing you didn't go back on them for royalties or anything.
I'm a good guy. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I drank Nate's first cut. How old were you when we took you to the first show? What was you, 6?
I was like 14 maybe.
No.
Chicago.
You were that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, his first concert, we took him to see the Stones in Chicago.
Awesome.
So, and then we've been to them. We saw them in the infield at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Did you ever tag him in the picture? Because Because I named Beer Money after Kit Moore, that Beer Money song.
Oh, really?
So I used to tag him and stuff all the time, hoping that someday, because I don't really let anybody drive my tractor, but if I could get Kit Moore to sit on it, I might let him start it.
Oh, yeah. So we went to see him at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the infield. They had, what, 175,000 people out there on 4th of July.
Holy
we had
crap.
a ball. We had a ball.
Big.
So yeah, we're big Stones fans.
Like you walk in your house and say, hey Google, play Jumpin' Jack Flash, and all of a
it's
sudden the speakers just...
we got a routine. When we go to the track, if you come here, I turn on 2 songs as we're hooking up Brown Sugar and Jumpin' Jack Flash. And you turn it up to 20 and just this whole thing is shaking. It's a routine. We do it every time.
That's awesome. It's like 3 dribbles when you shoot your free throw.
Exactly.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Nate, what's your routine?
Get mad at me.
I don't know, I guess I don't have one.
So you guys came out to Windsor last year, pulled out here last year, right?
Yep.
How many 3.6 trucks were out here last year? Was Wed here?
Yeah, there were 6, but Keith and I were probably the only ones from the other side of the Mississippi.
Okay, cool. No, that's neat. That's neat. I'm really, the promoters are super glad you guys are here. I talked with them this morning. We did some Facebook Lives and stuff, and they're really neat. The crowd, you know, because unfortunately they didn't get to see the 3.6s last night or the 3.0s or the Pro Stock tractors because that rain came in. There was 0% chance of rain.
It came in from the mountains.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps talking about. Oh, this thing just happened in the mountains and it just rolls off the mountains, and I'm like, wow. So whatever.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did.
They, I think Colorado's one of those states. They've had a long agriculture tradition, but I think they're one of those states, like a lot of states, where the diesel trucks would be really popular if they had if they were exposed to it more.
The promoter basically told me that he said that there's a lot of people from the Midwest or the East that have settled in Denver area, and so they miss pulling and they don't get a chance to see it. They're trying to tap into that. So they're definitely, they've already said it'll be back next year. It's not even a question. They might change the date a little bit or different things like that. And there's the Colorado State Fair is this week, I guess, and so they might try to combine those up, or they go to the Colorado State Fair on Wednesday. We could kind of make a sweep out of this, if you will. So. But I'm just happy just to be part of it, where we're really bringing pulling to a new part of the country that doesn't get a cease. Like, guys, we could go pulling every weekend. I mean, at home or the Midwest, 30, 60 miles from the house, you go 2 or 3.
When they approached us about coming last year, that was the whole key to bring something they can't see out. To our sponsors love Kenny from KT Performance and Hypermax love it. They're getting some exposure out in a part of the country they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a great segue. And it's one thing I asked. Who are the people that help you make this happen, Ferenc?
So Kenny Thompson in Ocala, Florida.
Ocala, okay.
KT Performance is our primary sponsor, and then the whole engine program through Hypermax.
Yeah.
Obviously, my business pays for everything.
Correct.
But Hypermax, this whole 6-7 program, they're funding them, and Ford are actually doing that in tandem.
That's
so, yeah, so that's
good to hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're getting kind of, I don't know, Nate, you got anything left we haven't told, or stories, or?
I can think of.
Parents?
Just
tell your Ronald Reagan story, the thing out there when you were in the band and he was out in California, and what were didn't you like play at some thing? I know we were hanging out one night yakking, and you said you did something with Reagan. You were in the band and he was speaking somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And he said something funny.
He said he was a hilarious guy. We were playing at his ranch. It was no big secret at that time that he didn't like to spend a lot of time in D.C. He liked spending time at his ranch, and he had somebody in. I don't remember who it was, maybe from South America or something. That part of the story is irrelevant. Visiting his ranch, and so they sent us up there to play, the Marine Band, to play for this press conference, and they asked 2 or 3 questions, the press pool did, about what was whoever the visitor was, but then it went back to the political topic of the day, and basically it was, you got to remember, both houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate at the time was predominantly Democrat, he was a Republican, and they were getting on him about how much time he was spending out there and not back in D.C., and the way the reporter asked the question, he said, Mr. President, the Democrats on the Hill, back on the Hill, are trying to rush such and such bill through while you're out here basically screwing around. What do you think of that? And old Reagan, he didn't miss a beat just that quick. They used to tease about him being senile and all that. Oh, no. He was sharp. We were set up in an arc right next to the podium, so I was, from me to them away from him, and set up in an arc, And just that quick, Mr. President, you know, the Democrats back on the Hill are trying to rush such and such bill through. What do you think about that? And just that quick, he goes, well, wait till Daddy gets home. You know, he didn't have to use no profanity, nothing, but he got his point across.
Wait till Daddy gets home.
You know?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, guys, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Nate, let's show off your helmet. We got to do that.
Let me get out of the way.
Mackenzie, zoom in on that for you.
That's definitely.
What's it say up top there? If you ain't built for it, you will get killed for it.
Yep.
Is that part of a Rolling Stone song?
No.
What's that from?
I don't even know where I picked that up.
The Harrison twins.
Yeah, 2 kids that played basketball at UK a long time ago. I think I had that something I came across and really liked it. So.
They were talking about the pressure playing basketball in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's real.
It's like playing for the NBA, you know.
It is.
So it is the NBA. They make more than they play in Kentucky. They do it at the NBA.
Yeah.
Hey.
These days, anyway.
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Well, guys, thanks for watching another episode of Behind the Helmet. Ferenc, Nathan, Vegh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to correct if anybody says your name wrong ever again. I'm like, I know these guys. I sat in their trailer and then
take care of them.
We would play a Rolling Stone song, but we'd probably get in trouble for copyright music. So
You can do it for 30 seconds.
can we? No, we get nailed like in a second.
I see all your Facebook.
Oh, really?
You get on the Facebook page all the time.
The copyright violations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're kind of, this is a tribute. A tribute.
A tribute.
So you don't have, it's a tribute.
I like it. I like it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Doing work.
He's the man out there right now.
Nathan Vegh, second attempt. Come on, where's all my Ford fans? Make some noise. Come on, Nader. Nathan Vegh as a beautiful jumping jack flash.